Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily stock market review for the trading day ending Monday, June 20th. Firstly to the S&P 500, and here we've seen a confirmed change of trend for today's trading, a candle forming a higher high and a higher low. Fairly large range candle, showing some eagerness from the buyers, extending well through the highs of the previous two candles and in fact the previous four candles. This suggests that the buyers had early in the day shown some commitment, but the large shadow on the top highlights the strong loss of commitment as the market tested to the round number 2100 and above that 2095 level, 2093 level. The rejection has been fairly strong. We have seen the buyers not only lose commitment, but we also saw the buyers lose any opportunity to take control, and we have seen the sellers close with control by closing down between the midpoint level and the low. Also, the Candlestick indicator at 2084, 2085 has held as resistance, and with the market unable to close above there, it does suggest that we still do have just a slightly negative bearish tone to this market in the short-term time frame. Importantly, the market was finding resistance around the top of this highlighted zone, around the 2079 level. We have closed above there, but the close has been certainly not bullish as we'd like to see. And if anything, despite there being some upside momentum in net terms with the formation of a white body candle, there has been that loss of commitment by the buyers and the loss of control. So not a lot of faith in the trend continuing to the upside. Having said that, however, we're not seeing a lot of strength from the sellers. We have seen the market close between the midpoint level and the low, and the formation of a white body candle also suggests that there isn't a lot of strength from the sellers. Now, if we do see a change of trend here, and there is a possibility of that occurring, there is likely to be very strong support coming in at the Kijun-sen indicator around 2073, and then also at the top of the Ichimoku cloud around 2067. In terms of Ichimoku, a just slightly bullish market in the longer-term time frame, although very close to the cloud, so almost neutral. Slightly bullish in the medium-term time frame, but so close to the Kijun-sen that we are just very close to being neutral, and also for the Tenkan-sen close to it, so close to being neutral, but just below, so technically just bearish. But really, we're not seeing a lot of strength in any time frame here from either the buyers or the sellers in terms of Ichimoku. Looking at the Chica span, however, it has just moved back above the corresponding price action, suggesting that we are seeing some newfound upside momentum in that medium-term time frame. So suggesting that we could see further upside, but obviously there is quite some indecision in this market. Now moving to the bands on the daily charts, and here we see the bands squeezing up and price activity still within the band, suggesting that we don't have any strong tone to the market either way. We are just below the middle of the band, suggesting that there is some negativity in this market, and also the market testing to and just above the middle of the bands are being rejected to the downside. So this does add some weight to the potential for the move to be to the downside next, although continuing support down at the lower bands may limit any move at the moment. We don't ever try to preempt the market, but with the market trading in that lower half of the bands, it is suggesting that the sellers are the stronger party, but certainly not in a major way. Now, if we do see the market close above that upper band, we could see the market end up rallying up to the upper band at 2108, and we should be watching that upper band as resistance, as we also should be watching the lower band to act as support. So what we're looking for here would be a bearish breakout, a strong bearish breakout to the downside below the lower band, and strong bearish follow through, and the market would then need to trade down through that previous swing low, or a bullish breakout with strong bullish follow through, with the market trading through that swing high around 2111, possibly the 2100 number is the area that we will be required to watch over the next couple of days as we have tested through to there today. Next to the Nasdaq 100 and a confirmed change of trend today with the current candle forming a higher high and a higher low, but it has done so on a fairly bearish candle. The market has closed down at the low, suggesting that the sellers have taken control, and the formation of a large black body here suggests net momentum to the downside and fairly strong. We are or have tested up within a highlighted yellow zone of support and resistance, and just to the top of there, being rejected from there does suggest that it is an important level, and we have seen previous strong rejection from this area, but also, more importantly, the Tenkan-sen has held as resistance. We have seen strong rejection from there, and it does certainly highlight that we have a fairly strongly negative market in that short-term time frame. Having said that, however, we have seen the market find support around the top of the Ichimoku cloud and very close to that 43.95 level. The cloud is fairly thin, however, so there is an opportunity here for the market to trade through there. The bottom of the cloud is around 43.87, but we are also finding support just within the top of another highlighted yellow zone that includes the area within the cloud. So very strong support extending down to about the 43.47 level. A fairly neutral market in the big picture terms by trading very close to the Ichimoku cloud. Fairly strongly negative by trading a fair distance away from the Tenkan-sen, but bearish in the medium-term time frame, but still fairly close to the Kijun-sen. But this strong build of momentum and the breakout, strong bearish breakout down below the Kijun-sen suggests that we could see further development to the downside. Looking at the Chica's band, however, it has now moved back above the corresponding price action, so it is suggesting that we have seen some momentum build, and that's because the close of today is above the close of the previous day's trading. So we have some keenness from the buyers here entering the market in terms of the position of the relative closes, but the short-term dynamics of this candle certainly aren't strongly supporting any bullish activity at the moment. Now looking at the bands with the Nasdaq 100, and here we see bearish activity down below the lower band. We had seen bearish breakout. We haven't seen strong bearish follow through yet to confirm. So the bands are fairly wide. They are still squeezing up, and we're not likely to see super strong downtrending activity yet. But certainly we do need to continue to watch the market, and if we can take out that swing low around the 43.63 level in a bearish manner, it will serve as something of confirmation that we have a strong bearish tone in this market. Interestingly, we did trade back within the bands today, attempting to mean revert back to the middle of the bands, so we do need to continue to watch that. Watching the lower band, roughly about 41.09, 41.10, to act as actually it's 44.12. 44.12 is where that lower band is. Watch that to act as resistance, and then the middle of the bands at 44.67. Next to the Russell 2000, and here is where we've seen the action today. The change of trend that occurred for the previous day's trading has continued. It was on a black body candle where the buyers had failed to take control, so we didn't have a lot of faith in a change of trend, but we have seen the buyers return solidly. We have seen the buyers close with control. It's not strong control, but it is control, and it is different than we've seen with the other indices. And also we've seen formation of a fairly large white body candle, although there has been a significant loss of commitment as we traded above the Tenkan-sen around 1161 and close to that 1167, 1168 level of previous resistance. So some bullishness entering the market, and this is where we're seeing the smaller cap stocks are attempting to lead the market, the overall equities market, higher. In terms of Ichimoku, looking fairly strong in depth of price action away from the Ichimoku cloud and from the Kijun-sen. Also the Chica span is supporting bullish activity, so this build of momentum here in terms of the white body candle suggests we could see an assault again on that Tenkan-sen indicator and on the 1167 region. And just looking at the bands here with the Russell 2000, and here we see the bands squeezing. We are still trading within the bands, very close to the middle of the bands, highlighting a neutral market in that medium-term time frame. But testing up fairly close to the upper band. Important trading coming up over the next day. The question here is, will we see strong follow through, and will the market test to the upper band at 1173, 1174? And that's an area that we do need to watch for either resistance or for a breakout. But importantly, the bands are squeezing. It means that the market is building, getting ready for a new trending activity. When it happens, we don't know. The markets, the bands would need to squeeze probably a little bit tighter than what we're seeing at the moment if we are going to see any strong trending activity.